Hey everyone, sorry this is a little crooked right now, but thought I'd do this real quickly. But I got a package here from HX Wholesale or um, HEXIR .com. They also have They also have a store. They also have an eBay store, which is HX Wholesale, I guess it's called, out of Lewis Center, Ohio. And this was expected to come on Monday, but it came a lot quicker, so that's pretty good, quick service. I was actually, what I did is I went on eBay. I did a little searching around for a certain figure or some kind of representation of said character, and Amazon, of course, had what I was looking for, but it had it in a way that was more like it was a small figure, kind of like based around Rainbow Rocks or something like that, but in pony form. So I figured, so I thought to myself, okay, what else could who else could have it? So I went to eBay thinking, okay, I have an eBay account there, or I used to have an eBay account or something, and looked there, and I typed in the character's name, and lo and behold, a lot of stuff came up on it. Most importantly, certain ponyfied versions of said character came up, mostly ponyfied plush versions. And I looked up a little bit more information on the plushes, and even though they're not official by Hasbro, I think in a sense they're licensed by Hasbro. And what I mean by licensed, in other words, whoever creates the plushes has Hasbro's permission and consent to do so, even though it doesn't have the Hasbro tag, if you know what I mean. So they have the consent and permission to do so, and hopefully what's in here is a result of that agreement, because from what I understand, this is just one of the ways you can get a ponyfied plush version of this character. Most of the other times, like I said, you can either get a small version that's kind of a Rainbow Rocks, a Cutie Mark Magic version or something like that. I think it was called Cutie Mark Magic version of this character. And all the other times you get a more just regular human version of the character. So if what's in here is what I think's in here, then yeah, I'm gonna have a representation of all the main characters across the board when it comes to this franchise. So and from what I've seen online, they do a lot of the characters from this show in pony form. You know, and they even do some specialized versions. Like they even take certain ponies and they make them into like bat creatures, like Fluttershy was in the Bats episode. So that's pretty cool. So overall, if what's in here is what I think it is, then like I said, I have all the main characters across the board. I mean, I have a My Little Pony. I have a MLP movie figure of Starlight, which is the kind that I think you put on the castle or something like that to see Crestia Catalog Castle. So, if this is who I think it is in plush form, and you can also get a Build-A-Bear of Starlight and even a season 5 variation of Starlight from this place. But you can also, like I say, go to Build-A-Bear and get Starlight there. But if this is who I think it is, then like I said, Hasbro basically, in my opinion, basically gave consent and permission to this company along with some other third-party companies to create these plushes to kind of, I guess, take a little pressure off of them to do so. And sometimes, if that's the case, in my opinion it is, very grateful they did that, because it now allows us to have access to be able to collect and get certain plushes and figurines and stuff of characters we wouldn't be able to get otherwise. Otherwise, or we'd have to wait a long time for. I'm kind of surprised Hasbro never had Funko do a ponified version of this character in their standard vinyl set, or even the mini mystery set. So, anyway, without further ado, let's see if it's exactly who I think it is. And I did get this back on Thursday after I got paid. So it's who I think it is. Looks like it. Is it? Is it? Open it up. Yes, it is, in pretty good size. It's Sunset Shimmer. That's how it's sunset, so we're gonna bring her out. And there she is, Sunset Shimmer. And very show accurate in my opinion, when Pony5 show accurate in my opinion. You can see that they kind of sewed up her mane like right there, so it's not as flowing, but very show accurate. Got the cutie marks right there and everything. Nothing on the hoofs or anything to kind of say My Little Pony or anything, but it's by Oli Factory. That's what it says on the tag there. That's what it says. So we have Sunset, like I said, by Oli Factory. I don't know if you can read that. It says Oli Factory right there. And then if you open up the tag, I don't think it says anything in the tag. No, there's nothing in the tag. The tag's kind of shut a little bit, but you can tell. I don't know if you can look in there. There's nothing in the tag. It says OLY Factory 2017. So this stuff just started to come out last year. It does have a tag, again, Olive Factory, and this is basically, from what I understand, a Chinese Chinese third-party company. Basically, these are knockoffs, but they're show accurate knockoffs. In other words, they're not official, but they might as well look official. And this is where this is why I kind of get the thought process that and you can kind of see they got the things sewed up right there on her face as well. That's pretty cool. You can even see through the little hole here. But anyway, what I was talking about is, I think, in a sense, my opinion, I think honestly that it is show. This is what I'm thinking. The reason they're able to do this is, I believe, Hasbro gave them the rights. Well, not the rights, but licensed out the rights. In a sort of permission agreement, consent kind of deal. Like, I'm thinking that behind the scenes they had like a secret meeting, and they basically behind the scenes gave Oli Factory the okay to do this, but to do it under disguise of the fact that, you know, I know it sounds weird, but I think they did it basically under disguise of the fact that Hasbro lets them do it, but the agreement is Hasbro gets a bit of the profits behind the scenes. Like, you know, like part of the agreement is, hey, you know, you don't put the Hasbro name on here, you don't put the pony name on the hoofs or anything. But I think this, honestly, is my opinion. I think when they allowed them to do this, again, part of the agreement is, hey, you know, you can do this under your factory's name, but we get a margin of the profits. In other words, they get like a decent size of the profits for whatever they make. So, yeah. and you can tell it's a little sewed up. You can tell they did these. Got a lot of sewing here, but yeah, basically, again, that's my thought process. Is they again, my thought process is I think there was a little agreement made under the table, and that agreement basically was Hasbro would let them do this, gave them the consent and permission, but in turn, Hasbro would get a bit of the profits. That's what I'm thinking. I mean, because come on, how else can these things get made or sold if they didn't give Oli Factory but their consent and their permission? In other words, I think basically they didn't license out the pony name, but more along the lines, like I said, they kind of did like a agreement behind the scenes, like an agreement and a consensual agreement that says, hey, you can use the likeness of the characters, create plushes of them that maybe we can't do, show accurate, but in turn they get the profits. But part of that agreement, I think, was, Oli Factory's name gets promoted, and there's no, indication of Hasbro, even though you can probably get an idea that I think Hasbro gave the consent. So, overall, though, I'm happy to have this in the collection. I really am. Again, as far as pony versions of certain characters, this is kind of hard. Some people might say it's kind of hard to come by, because it's like you're normally used to seeing her as her Equestria Girl's human form, but I think a lot of people, even though they're fans of her like that, are more along the lines fans of her like this. So overall, I'm really happy with it, and that's all I can say. I think they did a great job. It looks very show accurate, and maybe down the line they might be able to finally make a more public agreement with Hasbro, and Hasbro might say, hey, do these and we'll put our names on it and we'll split the profits in half. There you go. But I think, honestly, behind the scenes, they're letting them do this as long as Hasbro gets a majority of the profits under the table. That's what I'm thinking. So, but that's just my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. But overall, really happy with it. And it's pretty cheap to get too. It's about like $25, $27, $23 if you go to the website. But overall, I like it, and I'm going to try to get some more down the line. Maybe I'm going to get I think the next one I'm going to try to get would be Princess Luna. That's the one I want to get, because apparently they have from what I saw, I think on not Ben and John, but one of the videos that was talking about this, they actually have her mane sewed in, like a flowing mane. So I want to get her in Celestia next, if I can do that. But overall, not too bad, and I highly recommend getting it. I highly recommend checking them out. They're at HEXIR.com, Hexir.com, and you can even Google them, HEXIR, and even HEXIR eBay. Put eBay into Google search as well, and you'll get 2 ways of shopping from them. So overall, not too bad. Very happy with this, and again, you can kind of tell the awesome sew mark that if something was to come loose, you could probably attach it back on easily. So overall, not too bad. Really like it, and again, hopefully, maybe they'll be able to come up with a more public agreement, because I think there's something behind the scenes that's allowing them to make these characters. So that's all I'm going to say on it. Let me know what you guys think down below. Comment if you like. I'll talk to y'all later. But there she is, Sunset Shimmer.